The Nativist theory of Noam Chomsky in 1950s. What is a Nativist theory? The Nativist theory suggests that we are born with a specific language learning area in our brain. This explains that nativists believe that children are wired to learn language regardless of their environment. This area's only responsibility is learning language. So, some supporters of the nativist theory also believe that children are wired to understand basic rules of grammar, like combining nouns and verbs to form phrases. For example, no child will say, "Biscuit, mommy." Instead, the child will say, "Mommy, biscuit." The reason is when a child starts to put two words together, the child has already mastered the basic rules of syntax. And even when the child makes an enormous sentence, he applies them correctly. Who is Noam Chomsky? He is an eminent American theoretical linguist. He is also a cognitive scientist and philosopher. He is the proponent of the nativist theory. The concepts of Noam Chomsky on the nativist theory. He said that every child is born with a biological predisposition to learn language. In any language. He came up with the idea of a language organ, which is known as the language acquisition device or LAD. According to him, children have been observed to pick up grammar and syntax without any formal teaching. They seem to learn these fundamentals of their native languages purely from the input around them. So what is the major assumption of the nativist theory of language acquisition? This assumption suggests that we are born with something in our genes that allows us to learn language. Chomsky proposed that there is a theoretical language acquisition device somewhere in our brain. According to Chomsky, this is a set of language learning tools divided upward, which is responsible for learning a language the same way the hypothalamus is responsible for maintaining your body temperature. Next, the following are the four innate linguistic properties of language acquisition device. First, the ability to distinguish speech sounds from other sounds in the environment. Second, is the ability to organize linguistic events into various classes which can later be refined. Third, is the knowledge that only a certain kind of linguistic system is possible and that other kinds are not. And lastly, the ability to engage in constant evaluation of the developing linguistic system. So, how can a language acquisition device well function? In the first stage, the children need to access to samples of the natural language to activate the device. Next, once the language acquisition device is activated, they discover the structure of the language to be learned. Then, they discover it by matching the innate knowledge of universal grammar to the structures of the particular language in the environment. The contributions of the nativist framework of the understanding of the first language acquisition process. The freedom from the restrictions of the so-called scientific method to explore the unseen, unobservable, underlying, abstract linguistic structures being developed in the child.